Hey, Mike with Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing the Zeus by T&T Bags. Let's go ahead and dive in and break these bags down. The Zeus has a carpet slow side. It is that herringbone carpet. It is the most popular of the herringbone carpets out there. Same slow side you find on the Buffalo, Fallout X, and Fury, the BG Wizard, Wizard L, a Sorcerer as well, the B3 Fatal, X Level Counterpunch, the Alpha Bag Shadow X, the Southwest Capo, the Ninja Streets. I could go on and on. It's a long list of bags that use this herringbone carpet. It's a wonderful material. It's a very versatile material. A lot of players like it. It's one of my favorite materials. I love the control you get with it. I call it a 5-speed, but as I review this material, I always kind of mention that it's a material you can manipulate, and you can really get between a 4 to 6 speed on there, depending on how you take care of the material. Brand new, it's going to play at 5.5, 6 speed. If you keep it clean, you wash this material, you buy a fabric shaver, you shave these fuzzies off, keep it really smooth, it's going to stay in that 5.5, 6 speed for most of its life. As this material ages, it does start to slow down just from wear and tear on it. It is going to slow down, but for most of the time, it'll stay at 5.5, 6 if you keep it clean. Now, if you take it and throw outdoors on concrete, asphalt, you rough it up, you get it dirty, you don't wash it, it gets full of sweat, it's going to slow down. It's going to play like a really slow, sticky 4-speed. And if you play on, indoors, on pitch pads, on smooth surfaces, clean surfaces, and most normal conditions, it'll probably settle somewhere in that 5-speed in that middle. And that's why I call it a 5-speed. Fast side, this is that Pro Sniper, Viper, Deadhead fast side, 9-speed, crazy fast, great for pushing, collecting, sliding up the boards in any condition. So wonderful fast side material. Looking at a 5 and 9 speed on the Zeus. Template-wise, it's a medium template bag. It's a medium amount of fill, but it's on the thinner side, so it's a looser bag. It's got quite a bit of flop to it. It's on the floppier side for bags, which gives the bag a ton of forgiveness, honestly. It's a very forgiving bag. And one of the knocks on this herringbone material is that it has a kick to it. So you get these bags that are fuller, they tend to want to kick. They're pretty punishing if you don't throw a flat bag. A bag like these Zeus that have the flop to them, that flop allows that bag to really land softly and flatten out and minimizes or reduces a lot, if not all, the kick in the bag, and allows the bag to run up that board straighter. So if you don't throw a flat bag, but you've been wanting to try out a herringbone bag, or you've thrown them before and you just can't control them, this Zeus is definitely something I think you would try out for those of you who don't throw the flats of bags. The other thing that the flop does is gives the bag a ton of forgiveness around the hole. So if you're a player who has struggles with consistency and accuracy, and that's one of my weaknesses. When I tend to start struggling, it's because I start getting inaccurate where I'm landing the bag and I'm missing the hole left or right or whatever. A bag like this with a flop, as long as you can get that corner to grab the hole, it's going to grab and pull that bag back and either bring it back in or leave it sitting there so it's collectible for the next bag you throw. And I love when bags help cover up for my mistakes. And this Zeus, the flop of the Zeus, really is forgiving around the hole. It gives this bag a much larger landing zone than a normal bag would be or a fuller bag would have to it. These bags are also ACL stamps. You play in the ACL, you can throw the Zeus. Also the fill, I forgot to mention, the fill in here is a flat fill. I think it's a mixture of flats. It's got some flat disc, I believe, and some of that thicker flat. I don't feel any beads in here. If there are some beads, they're not many. So it's a mostly not 100% flat fill, but it is a mixture of the flat fills in here. Probably a mixture of different weights as well, different densities of those also. But and then that flat fill also aids in the forgiveness and the landing, right? It doesn't have that balance and movement, so it allows the bag to land softer as well. So again, if you don't throw a flat bag, I think the Zeus is definitely will be a bag that'll work for you. Leads me to playability on these, and it's a versatile bag. If you want to get up there and you want to run bags in the hole, go hole for hole, outscore your opponent, you can definitely do it, especially on faster boards. I love this herringbone material on faster boards. If I just want to run bags in the hole, it does a great job of that. If you want to play a dirty style game, you can definitely pull these out. You've got a ton of control of this herringbone carpet to put blockers where you want, put your blockers up there, and really cause a lot of chaos, create a lot of congestion. The one bit of advice I would say if you're throwing these Zeus and playing a dirty style game is you want your blockers up closer to the hole, and that's because of collectability. When you get a bag that has flop to it, if you clip a corner to collect, the bag's just according up, and this bag when you go to collect, if you're clipping a corner, the bag's according up, and this push bag kind of spins around. It pushes the blocker a little bit out of the way, spins around, goes in the hole or sets in front of it, which makes it great for get around. So if you're playing an opponent who throws blockers up there, a bag like this is awesome for getting around, especially if you're not great at rolling or flopping or cutting, but you want options to get around a bag like this, because you go right corner to corner, you'll smash in, bully their bag out of the way, you'll take hole control, or you'll go in the hole and leave their bag there. But if you're trying to collect your bag around the hole, it's great. If you got a bag like a level 1 blocker or even right at the hole, because when you come in, if you're clipping it, it wants to spin this blocker bag, and it spins it. It's going to pull it towards the hole and take it in. If it doesn't go away, it'll leave it closer for your next bag to do that. If you've got a level 2, level 3 blocker and you're trying to collect that, you really want to come, well, one, you want to go fast side, but you want to come more in the middle of the bag. Come middle, so you don't have that accordion effect to it and push it up there, which means if you're throwing a blocker, you need to leave that blocker more in the middle or in your lane, not get too aggressive. If you get too far over your opponent's side, it's tougher to come middle to middle, collect, and take them both in. You might end up with 2 bags off the side. So just be aware of that. Still not a bad bag for throwing blockers up there. It's a big enough bag. It makes a decent blocker. Just be aware if you're looking to collect that blocker, you don't want to get too aggressive on their side. It leads me to shot shaping as well. Not the best bag for shot shaping. For cuts, rolls, and flops, not the best bag for that. If you're advanced level player in those skills, you can cut this, you can roll it, you can flop it, right? If you can get the bag in the right orientation, you can cut, roll, flop any bag out there. If you're an average blowers player, probably not the best one for that. But that's also because the bag is so forgiving in the landing, right? If the bag doesn't have a kick, it's not easy to cut. If a bag doesn't have a bouncy fill, it's not easy to get up and roll. And so that's the trade-off you get. You got to find out what types of things value, what areas you value more in a bag, and that's where you want to go for. And it's a trade-off. If you gain forgiveness in the landing, you're losing the cutability of the bag, right? As you lose kick, you lose cutability. And so you figure out what's more important to you, and you find a bag that fits that. I love this type of bag when I'm playing against an opponent who plays a dirty style game and they're better at it than I am. I don't want to play to their strengths. I want to play more to their weaknesses. So if they're great at dirty style games, they love throwing blockers, they love rolling and flopping and cutting around bags. I want a bag like this because when they throw the blocker up there, I can just kind of go into it, bully it out of the way, spin around it, take hold control, or go in, leave their blockers there. And this bag really does a great job of giving you that get around style game. It's also great because it has the flop. It folds up really nicely, so you can squeeze through tight holes. If you've got multiple bags up there, you can kind of go slick side, slip through them, and not collect their bags, take your bag in and leave their bags out there. It's also great if you've got, when there's bags hanging around the hole and you just want to sneak a bag in, it just kind of goes in and drips right in the hole and sneaks in. So it's a wonderful bag for getting into tight spots, getting into crowded holes, and leaving your opponent's bags around there. And that's where I think this bag really shines. So when you're just trying to run bags in the hole and you're playing an opponent who throws more of a dirty style game, that's where I would pull the Zeus out. That's how I would play it. You can still throw the blockers up there. Like I said, just make sure you're putting them more in the middle or putting them close to the hole. You can still do that. I have no problem with that. It is a bag that I was able to throw some cuts with it, just not making those harsh cuts. It's more of a subtle cut. You can definitely do that. So it does have shot shaping capability. It's just not something that most of you are going to be doing with that. That leads me into availability, and T&T has a website, tntbags.com. Put a link in the description for you guys. There's also a discount code in there. I've been working with one of their T&T's reps for these bags, so I have his discount code down there. If you go in to check out, put that code in, it'll save you some money on the bags. The bags are regularly $79.99, $80 for a set of them. T&T has free shipping on their bags. If you use that code, it's actually $10 off, I believe, so it's $70 for a set shipped to you. Phenomenal price for an ACL stamp bag. So if you've been looking to try out a herringbone bag, or maybe you like the sound of this one over some of the other ones that you've thrown, definitely give it a try. I really like these Zeus. It's a fun bag to throw. It's a bag I think a lot of you are really going to enjoy throwing. If you've thrown them, I'd love to hear your opinions, what you like, what you don't like. Drop a comment down below. I thank you guys so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.